first exercise we're going to do is you're going to be sitting. Obviously, I don't assume that you have a massage table, but if you have a chair that allows your feet to not touch the ground, use that or any type of hard surface. Sit up nice and straight. And this one's called flossing. You're going to raise your affected leg. And as you do that, when the affected leg is up in the air, you're then going to look up. So leg up, and now look up. And you likely are going to feel the symptoms traveling down your leg. It might be very intense. Try to stick with it as best you can. Hold for 5 seconds and release. Do this about 10 times. Up again. Head up. If, as you progress throughout the days, as you do this, you can start lifting your toes towards your face. That might be a little too intense at the start, but hopefully after a few days, you'll be able to do that. So hold and release. So the next exercise you want to do is called a slump stretch. This is another exercise that's likely going to aggravate the symptoms. Hopefully they dissipate a little bit throughout the hold of the exercise. But feeling them intensify at the start is normal, unfortunately, because we're really just trying to get that nerve stretched out again, if you will. So what you need to do is you're going to sit with your legs straight out, feet on a wall, and you're going to interlock your fingers behind your head, and just as it implies, you're going to slump forward. You're going to hold this position for approximately 30 seconds, or to tolerance. If it's too much, then stop. After 30 seconds, come back up. Do that one approximately 3 times. So you're going to lie on your back, cross your affected leg over, grab it with the opposite hand, so left leg, right hand, and just pull that towards the opposite shoulder. You're going to get a nice stretch right in here. And this is one of those ones you're going to do to tolerance. To intensify this one a little bit further, you can bring this leg up in the air, put your hands behind it, or a yoga strap if you can't reach, and just pull in. You really want to feel the stretch right here. This one you should be familiar with from coming to class. It's the pigeon pose. So what you're going to do, hands underneath your shoulders, bring the affected leg, I'm going to pretend it's my right one right now, up underneath you. You kind of want to try to bring this knee, because it's your right knee, towards the left side of your chest, so you get a bit of an angle underneath your body. And then slowly just lower your weight onto that leg. You're going to feel a really nice stretch right in the piriformis area. Hold this for 30 to 60 seconds. The further along into the stretch you get, the further you should allow your body's weight to just fall onto the leg. Even though only one leg is affected, you can always do both legs just to even out the stretch, and because it feels really good. Next stretch, you are going to have your back straight against a wall, both legs out straight. Slowly bring one leg up and hug it into your chest. Hold this for 10 to 15 seconds. And then release. And really do both legs. There's no harm in stretching both. Do this 10 times each leg, just to get a nice stretch. As you feel your muscles slowly loosening up in that position, hug a little bit tighter. So this stretch is basically going to mimic what you just did on the wall, but you're going to do it on the floor. So if the one on the wall is too intense, feel free to just do this one to start, and then in a couple days maybe you can incorporate the wall one as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to lie back, have both legs out straight, slowly bring one leg in, and hug it to your chest. Hold it for 10 to 15 seconds, release, bring up the other one, give it a good stretch. Release, do that 3 to 4 times each leg. Next one is one I know you've done a lot, it's the toe touch. We do it a lot here. So just remember with the toe touch, the importance of the hip hinge. Get that hinging out first. It's not just a drop down. Hinge it back and then down, touch the toes, hold for just a couple seconds, back up. Again, down, touch your toes, come back up. Do that 10 times or to tolerance. You're gonna be down here. Now we're gonna jump into a couple exercises. There's not a whole lot you should be doing right now. You should wait for the pain to subside, but we'll jump into a couple exercises you can do right now to try to help the healing process along and help you try to maintain some of the gains you've already made. But really the importance right now is healing. So if you only focus on one part of the video, I would focus on the stretching portion we just did, but this is a great section here too if you want to get some exercise in. So the first one we're going to do, I have to stay down here for you to see me, is we're going to do a squat. It's not your usual squat. This is going to be a very deep squat and you're going to need something to hang on to like this post. Unlike what I'm doing right now, you can see my heels are up in this squat. You want to be down in a squat with your heels on the floor. So you may not get very deep down, but go down as deep as you can, keeping your heels on the floor. It's going to look something like this. Grab onto the post. Ideally, you want to come down with your feet together, heels down, and it'll give you a nice stretch through the piriformis, plus a little stability work. Hang on to that as far as you can, and do it to tolerance. If you can sit here for a minute, do it for a minute, but don't push it. If it's only 15 seconds, do it for 15 seconds. And if you can only do it with legs wide apart right now to here, that's fine. Eventually in a few days, hopefully you can drop it down to here. Feet together, pointed forward, heels flat on the floor. I can lift my toes right now. The pole obviously is helping me from falling backward though, so you definitely need something to hang on to, sturdy. Just hang out. So the next exercise you're going to do is another one that you've been doing in class. It's the bird dog. So you're going to have hands beneath shoulders, knees below your hips, and you're going to raise alternate limbs. You're going to have left leg, right hand. This is going to be a good core exercise. And then switch sides. Again, this may not be something you can tolerate at the beginning, so don't push it. You might be able to do this on day 3 or 4. Just go nice and slow. Do that for about a minute, holding each side for 5 to 6 seconds. Last exercise is a standing hip abduction. So we're going to go away from the body. So stand with your hand on the wall. Stand nice and tall, proper posture. And then just pull your leg away from the body. This motion can be as small as you need it to be to remain comfortable. Try to do 10 aside. Nice, slow, and controlled movement. And then switch sides. So the last one we're going to do is called the McKenzie, and this is a stretch. We're back to stretching. This is a stretch made specifically for those with sciatic problems, and it's sort of a deep relaxation. So once you've done all the work, this one's going to hopefully relax you and ease any symptoms that may still be flaring right now. So the first thing you're going to do for 3 to 5 minutes, put your hands at your side, put your head down, Turn to the side. And your symptoms may flare up at the start, but they should dissipate over the 3 to 5 minutes. And just rest here for 3 to 5 minutes. Relax everything. And just hang out. After 3 to 5 minutes, what you want to do is just come up on your elbows. Again, when you do this, symptoms may flare a little bit. Just try to sit with it if you can. And sit up here for about a minute. After a minute, you're now going to come up on your hands. Keep your pelvis touching the mat. Just come up on your hands. Do a cobra. Remember that pelvis has to be on the ground. Hold the cobra pose for about 10 seconds. Then drop back down to your elbows. Bring it back up again. Stretch out as much as you can. Again, this is another one you do to tolerance. And drop it back down. Do that for a total, the cobra pose, for a total of approximately 10 times or as much as you can handle it. Don't go past 10 times though. And down. And if you want to finish off the session in the resting position again for another minute or two, feel free. Hopefully by now the pain has subsided a little bit and the symptoms are easing. Each day, ideally, the symptoms will become less and less. So I hope these stretches and exercises help you, and have a really good time on your vacation next week, and we will see you when you get back.